blessed by the divine bliss. A good life is one inspired by love and guided by the knowledge. As per this sentence, and today morning we have gathered here to continue 2 days seminar on science of the universe and beyond. Beyond. So on behalf of, first of all, I would like to say good morning to one and all who are gathering here. On behalf of MEC Training Academy, SR Foundries, National Productivity Council, we welcome the legend and His Holiness Dr. Alagar Ramanujam Ayya, and welcome Dr. Madhavan Ayya, and we'll welcome Dr. Subbarao, Director, National Productivity Council. And I welcome all the participants. I'm immense pleasure to welcome you all to participate in this program. So next I'll hand over to the dais speakers. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I call upon Dr. Madhavan to give his inaugural address.
Good morning and divine blessings to all. It is a great pleasure for me to be here inaugurating the science of the universe and beyond. Before I proceed, I would like to thank Dr. Alagar Ramanujam, who is the leader in giving such programs for the last 10 years. He has presented many papers at the national level, international level, at different universities. And some of his papers were presented in the scientific journals. It's a great pride for every one of us having taken Maharishi Vethathiri to the universe. Thank you. And it is also a great pride to have this seminar, 2-day seminar, done at the National Productivity Council, which makes it more like a professional presentation, not just one among the mill. No? When somebody says about Maharishi Vethathiri, they think, oh, it must be something like a spiritual program. But then, most of you know, in the last 10 years of Maharishi, he spent his whole time in trying to bridge the gap between science and spirituality. And during which time, Dr. Alagar Ramanujam was with Maharishi very closely, and almost every day, maybe 6 to 8 hours, listening to him, interacting with him. I enable him to write some points, books and articles, etc. So therefore, I feel that Maharishi Vethathiri has given everything, whatever you knew or whatever you want to say, to Dr. Alagar Ramanujam, who is a PhD in physics. What can be more appropriate? And today, at this National Productivity Council Hall, I see a lot of people, youngsters to elders gathered to know what exactly is happening about the universe and the science of the universe and beyond. I would like to thank, before I forget, the organizers, Merck Training Academy. So I remember Mr. Ravi I met, not personally, over telephone, talking about the training, at which time he mentioned that he's also the disciple of Maharishi. Was very happy. I never thought after 2-3 years I will meet him here personally. And Mr. Prakash, I also talked to him so many times on telephones, all positive, negative, contra, etc. To him, so many things. Definitely it has sharpened our outlook towards the universe and the people. Now I'd like to thank the other speakers who's going to support us. Dr. Shanmuga Priya, Muralidharan, K.S. Giri, Madheshwaran, Arun Vel, Tangamani, Badma Priya, and some of them, I know them. They are one of my old friends, participated with me in such seminars. So, I would like to also thank other people who are very keen to listen to what is going to happen in 2 days. My God, do they have so much for 2 days? It's a wonder. Let's see. If you are very keen, and in case you have a lot of doubts, right, feel free. There is some time is allocated for that. I was very intrigued about the title, Science of the Universe and Beyond. In this title, if you see, there are 3 key words used. One is science. The second one is universe. And third one is beyond. If you remember the way the humankind grew up, whenever they have lost something, right, they will only look at the ground. Where did I misplace it? Whenever they do not know an answer to a question, they were looking up. This must be the most of experience. Why were they looking up for an answer? Can they not get an answer from the ground? No. There's a big difference. If you look at the ground, your field of vision is very much restricted, number one. And if you look up, sky is the limit, or even beyond. So they were searching for answers, always looking up. When you look up, what do you see? In the daytime, you see the blue sky. In the night times, you see the dark sky with stars. Do you think the distance that you see with the blue sky and you see with the dark sky, is it same or different? What would say? பகலில் பார்க்கும்போது ஆமாம் இங்கே இருக்கிற மாதிரி தெரியுது, நைட்டில் பார்த்தாலும் அங்கே தான் இருக்குது. அப்போ ரெண்டும் ஒன்று தானா, இல்லை வித்தியாசம் இருக்கா? சேம். தேங்க்யூ சார் ஃபார் கிவிங் அன் ஆன்சர் போல்ட்லி. இப்போ மற்றவங்க ஐயா சேம் பண்ணிட்டாரு. சேமா? ஓகே, இதுக்கு தான் டெமோக்ரஸின்றது. ஸோ ஓட்டு போடணும் நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும். வேறு யாராவது have a different opinion? No. Thank you. So what is your good name, sir?
Mohan Raj.
Mohan Raj. So Mohan Raj is a scientist. If you observe, only the scientists will always be bold, and they don't mind telling the opposite answer to that of the democratic answers. Sir, could you please tell us how?
I'm not at the same place, and most of the things are not at the same place. Everything is moving everywhere. Then how it can be the same?
Everything is moving, how it can be same? So even during the daytime, it is not the same. In night time, it is not the same. So daytime, night time are same. It is not same. The point here is, in the daytime you can't see the stars, right? In the night time you see stars, because the daylight, which prevents us seeing the stars, have disappeared from the scene. Now you see a clear sky. This clear sky, the night sky, is far, far away from the blue sky. So when the man started looking at the sky for an answer, he found that night time was the good time to get answers, and these are stars. He started looking into them. If you go into the history of studying the universe, you'll find the pioneers were not scientists, they are explorers. Even Hubble is not a scientist, he's an explorer. So every one of you is a scientist that way if you explore the stars. You like stars? Yeah, I know Rajinikanth you like. He's also a star. Right? Somehow we have an attachment for stars, good or bad. So friends, one fundamental thing is the blue sky is closer than the dark sky. This revelation comes from science. That's the difference. Science has helped us to know these small, small things around. Science is knowledge, yes, no doubt. Science are the observed facts as of today. Tomorrow it can change. It's free to change. And this knowledge from science is not sacred. Because if it is sacred, you will never be allowed to change it. That's a plus point with the science. So science helps you to tell what is today and allows what comes tomorrow to be incorporated into it. Right? When you see the ground, your field of observation is very small. Right? Maybe 30, 40 feet you can see. But look up. My God. Millions and millions of miles away. Right? This is what exactly the difference the study of universe gives us as compared to study of the earth. Look at the difference in size. Do you see the sun? S-U-N? Yeah, good. How big is it compared to the Mother Earth? Uh, 16 lakhs, 19 lakh times bigger. My God, 19 lakh times bigger than Earth. Standing on the Earth, you can't see the Earth completely, but staying away from the sun, you could see the sun completely. That gives you the capacity to observe and find out. Universe is always something interesting, and there is no end to it. You know why? Because unfortunately human is able to observe using his two eyes, which is in the front. It gives you only a plain view. What is in front of me? When you look in front of you, my eyes are incapable of looking what is at the back. Is universe a plane as a three-dimensional thing? Is universe a sheet of plain matter, or is there something behind me also? What do you think? Yeah, unfortunately, as a human, I am not able to see what is behind me. So one of the papers is going to talk about Hubble, who just threw a spanner in the Standard Model when he said, universe is expanding. There is a redshift. But this Hubble did not turn back and see what was happening behind. Do you have any records? Did you see behind? Did he fix some cameras 360 degrees and start observing? I don't know. But here are some people who are going to throw light on this Hubble, which says the universe is expanding, expanding, expanding. There's a question comes, is it going to stop somewhere? At what time am I supposed to stop? Because my watch stopped. Another 10 minutes, huh? Fine, no problem. So I'm free. I can shorten it by 10 minutes, extend by another 10 minutes. No problem. But the moment what I'm talking is not interesting, please raise your hand. Then I know it's a time to stop. Right? Good. Thank you. No problem. I want somebody like that. Oh, you must be. I was asking Dr. Alagar, is there going to be a timekeeper? He said, I don't know. There should be somebody. Right? Thank you. Follow the same thing, huh? With other speakers as well. So, just I want to tell you, have you seen the universe? But you have an idea about the universe. Yes, you have an idea about the universe. It covers all the stars, etc., etc. How many stars are there? 5, 10, 22? The problem with mathematics is this: infinite and zero. These two are the biggest problem in mathematics. Zero and infinite.
It's finite, but we don't know the value.
Approximately. Some I don't know, 34,000 crores or something like that. Anything you can say, who is going to count it? No problem. But at least we are sure it is in the order of crores. Right? So many. So friends, in this universe, the physics is studying about the existence of mass and matter. How much is mass in this universe? Any idea? Take a guess shot. Okay. Less than 5%. Please verify afterwards. This is the beauty of science. Otherwise you will not know. So 95% is non-matter. It's called dark matter and dark energy. And these cosmological observations are limited to those existing one. They are talking about the 5% coolly eliminating those 95%. You know, it is like our exam. In our exam, there are 10 questions. They ask, answer any 5. You choose the tough ones, the most easiest ones. They are answering only the easy questions and forgetting the tough ones. This is like that. So, please understand, universe is so big, we focus on 5%. Some of you know the building blocks of a mass is atom. Okay? In atom, how much is mass? How much is non-mass? Take one atom. How much is mass? Much less. 0.000.0101%. No, put a point and put 11 zeros and put 1%. The rest is? Space. Right. The rest is space. Hey man, you scientists, why do you leave the space which is so many 99.999 and talk about the means matter? So this seminar is going to give us a new direction to look at the space as a great contributor in the playing of the universe. Another interesting thing is beyond. I'm going to stop after this, maybe 2-3 minutes. Beyond. What is beyond the sky? Space. What is beyond the space?
Space.
Non-movement. Non-movement, okay, static. It's not dynamic. Right? If there is anything beyond static or whatever it is, what is the Norman man calls it? Huh? Shivam. Neenan Shivam. அந்த சிவன் பேர் சொன்னாலே எங்கேயோ போயிடுறோம் இல்லை, right? So this is one seminar which includes this key point of universe and beyond, touching this one. I have attended many conferences with Dr. Alagar Ramanujam. We were only talking about cosmos, stars, and the movement, etc., etc. And this is the first seminar where we have included consciousness. That way, this is a breakthrough. So we are discussing science, which is a knowledge accepted by all, and we are talking about universe, which is the largest thing existing in this universe. And we are also going to discuss about things beyond, means beyond the universe, which according to my friend says Shivam, right? It gives me great pleasure to be here today to connect up all the three things in this two-day seminar and invite the speakers and the participants and invoke the blessings of the Almighty, the unified force, to give us all the success in this seminar. And thus, I take pride, along with every one of you, in inaugurating the seminar today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful speech. Now I call upon Dr. Srinivasa Rao, NPC, Chennai, to deliver his speech.
Dr. Ramanujam, and Dr. Madhavan, Dr. Ravi, Mr. Prakash, ladies and gentlemen, good morning and very warm welcome to National Productivity Council. I would like to thank Merck Academy for considering our institute to host this seminar. It is a privilege and an honor to have you with us here. I am not a subject expert on this matter. Whatever little knowledge is through listening to senior persons, knowledgeable persons like you. So I would not like to stand between you and the speakers for long. Whatever little knowledge we have, maybe through listening to them or nowadays through WhatsApp messages or whatever, we don't know for sure whether they are real or fake. So to that extent, these seminars, I think they help in institutionalizing our knowledge. Maybe going beyond, it may benchmark our knowledge and skills compared to other forms, how science has evolved. Maybe you will be deliberating these 2 days on many other aspects that may be beyond my comprehension, so I don't want to say anything about that. I thank you, and being a productivity institute, we always wish whoever comes here, their days are productive and fruitful. So I wish you all these 2 days very goes as a in a productive manner and a fruitful manner. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I call upon Dr. Alagar Ramajanam.
Vedantari Maharishi Sharanam. I will take only about 5 minutes before the speakers start their presentation. Even this 5 minutes is to thank Mr. Ravi and Mr. Prakash for all the efforts they have taken in arranging the meeting, and Dr. Subbarao for having provided all these facilities for us. This seminar is the first of its kind, where in a single seminar, both deep science and also consciousness are being discussed simultaneously. There may be seminars on consciousness and mind. There may be seminars on physics and science. That's a different. But this is the first seminar where both the aspects are being discussed. This is the first, shall I say, in Tamil Nadu. This is the first, shall I say, in India. This is the first in the world. And this is going to open to the world what India is. Such a conference can come only from a country like India. No other country, a conference of this kind where science and consciousness are being discussed, in no other country it can come from. This is a uniqueness of India. Okay. As Abdul Kalam said, this is 2020 India's contribution. Why this seminar is important, that's all, only 5 minutes. See, for quite a long time, there were two issues in general. One is the creation, is what we see, the creation. You have stars, you have suns, okay? You have so many trees, botany, things like that, which I see, the creation. The another aspect is the creator behind this, the creator. So far, science never worried about the creator. When a person does a research in molecular physics, he discusses only how many atoms are there in the molecule, what is its property. If we add one more atom, what will happen to its property? He is not expected to worry about how the molecules came into existence. It is not his worry. So, scientists are dealing with only what they see, the properties, that's all, why the sun is shining. A scientist is never worried about how the sun came into existence. He will say, it is not in my field. That field is a different field. Who are worrying about the creator, and they were called philosophers. That's all. So philosophers were talking about what is the creator behind this. Scientists were talking about the properties of this. So there were clear-cut divisions. Suppose you say something to the scientist, some philosophers say that it was the creator name is this, he created in the following way. A scientist will say, I'm not worried about all those things. So they are simply distinct. One is the philosopher's area, another is the scientist's area. But what happened about 90 years ago, a dramatic thing happened. About 90 years ago, around 1930. A new branch came into existence in physics, a very brand new branch, which we call cosmology. பிரபஞ்சவியல். பிரபஞ்சவியல்ங்கிறது 90 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி தான் அது உருவாச்சு ஃபிசிக்ஸில். அந்த பிரபஞ்சவியலில் 3 ஆஸ்பெக்ட் இருந்தால் தான் பிரபஞ்சவியல்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவங்க டிஃபைன் பண்ணாங்க. ஹூ இஸ் அ காஸ்மாலஜிஸ்ட் அப்படிங்கிறத அவங்க வரையறை பண்ணாங்க. ஹூம் டு சே காஸ்மாலஜிஸ்ட் யார் சொல்கிறது அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு. பிரபஞ்சவியல் 3 ஆஸ்பெக்டை டச் பண்ணணும். என்ன ஆஸ்பெக்ட்? ஹவு த யூனிவர்ஸ் கேம் இன்டு எக்ஸிஸ்டன்ஸ். ஃபார் த ஃபர்ஸ்ட் டைம் அந்த கொஸ்டினை தூக்கி ஃபிசிக்ஸ்குள்ளே போடுறாங்க இப்போ. A cosmologist has to discuss, if he is a cosmologist, how the universe came into existence, one aspect. Second aspect, what are the ways in which the present universe is behaving? ரெண்டாவது ஆஸ்பெக்ட். மூணாவது ஆஸ்பெக்ட், வாட் இஸ் த ஃபியூச்சர் ஆஃப் திஸ் யூனிவர்ஸ். இந்த மூணு சேர்ந்தது தான் காஸ்மாலஜி. ஸோ நீங்கள் வந்து நான் காஸ்மாலஜியில் ஒர்க் பண்ணுறேன் அப்படின்னு சொன்னால் நீங்கள் மூணை பற்றி ஒரி பண்ணணும். யூ ஹவ் டு ஒரி ஹவு திஸ் கேம் இன்டு எக்ஸிஸ்டன்ஸ், யூ ஹவ் டு ஒரி ஹவு things are happening now, you have to worry about how, what is the future of the universe. அதனால் இது வரைக்கும் ஃபிலாசபர்ஸ் கிட்ட இருந்த ஒரு சப்ஜெக்டை இப்போ நைஸாக என்ன பண்ணாங்கன்னா ஃபிசிக்ஸ்குள்ளே கொண்டு வந்துட்டாங்க. இது எப்போ கொண்டு வந்தாங்க? 90 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி தான். ஸோ now a காஸ்மாலஜிஸ்டினுடைய ஒரி வந்து a காஸ்மாலஜினுடைய ஜாப் வந்து வெரி டிஃபிகல்ட். Suppose you are a nuclear physicist, you are doing research in nucleus. You don't have to worry about how the nucleus came into existence. அவசியம் இல்லை உங்களுக்கு. நீங்கள் நியூக்ளியஸை பற்றி படித்தா கூட போதும், அவ்வளோதான். You are a nuclear physicist. But if you say you are a cosmologist, you have to have some answer for all the three aspects. இப்போ இந்த ஆஸ்பெக்டில் பார்க்கும்போது தான் பிரபஞ்சவியல் அப்படின்னு பார்க்கும்போது தான் for the first time scientists started worrying about how the universe came into existence. அப்போ ஒரு சயின்டிஸ்ட் வந்து இதை கையில் எடுத்த உடனேயே he is an open mind. A scientist is always an open mind. இந்த கிரியேஷனை பற்றி, இந்த கிரியேட்டரை பற்றி யாரெல்லாம் என்னென்னலாம் சொல்லியிருக்காங்க அப்படின்னு ஒரு கிளான்ஸ் பார்க்குறான். ஒரு கிளான்ஸ் பார்த்துட்டு அவனை ஒரு லாஜிக் அப்ளை பண்ணி then he comes to a conclusion, or cosmologist. இப்போ அப்படி வரும்போது a western cosmologist அவங்க என்ன ஒரு ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்டை விட்டுட்டாங்கன்னா வெஸ்டர்ன் காஸ்மாலஜிஸ்ட் அவங்களுடைய ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்டு இந்த பிரபஞ்சத்தில் இருக்கிற டோட்டல் மாஸ் அண்ட் எனர்ஜி, டோட்டல் மாஸை கூட்டுங்க, டோட்டல் எனர்ஜி கூட்டுங்க, டோட்டல் மாஸ் அண்ட் எனர்ஜி ஆஃப் த யூனிவர்ஸ். அவன் என்ன சொல்லிட்டான்? அடிப்படையில் இட் இஸ் அ கான்ஸ்டன்ட், அது மாறாதுன்னு தான். எது மாறாது? டோட்டல் மாஸ் அண்ட் எனர்ஜி அவைலபிள் மொத்தமாக போட்டுன்னா செவ்வாய்க்கிழமை என்ன இருந்ததோ அதுவே தான் புதன்கிழமையும் இருக்குன்ட்டான். செப்டம்பர் மாதம் என்ன இருந்ததோ அதுதான் அக்டோபர் மாதம் இருக்க போகுதுன்ட்டான். ஸோ த டோட்டல் எனர்ஜி அண்ட் டோட்டல் மாஸ் ஆஃப் த யூனிவர்ஸ் இஸ் அ கான்ஸ்டன்ட். இது வந்து இன்றைய வெஸ்டர்ன் காஸ்மாலஜினுடைய ஒரு ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட். அதில் தான் அவங்க காஸ்மாலஜியை டெவலப் பண்ணுறாங்க. சப்போஸ் இதே கான்செப்டை, suppose I tell you now, I have told you the concept, avanga concept. Now, do you agree with this statement? That's the point. Do you agree? Suppose நான் அந்த ஆடியன்ஸ் கிட்ட போடுற இந்த கேள்வியை, do you agree that the total mass of the universe, the total energy ரெண்டையும் கூட்டுனா செவ்வாய்க்கிழமை என்ன இருந்ததோ அதுவே தான் புதன்கிழமை இருக்கும்போது அதுவும் எப்போவுமே இருக்க போகுதுங்கிற அந்த ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்டை, do you agree with the statement? So you agree with the statement? Okay, fine. Yeah? No, I want your statement with the present knowledge, future knowledge. I want your statement. Do you agree with this or not? Yes, that's fine. So this is a debatable point now. He says, okay, one statement, okay. This is now a debatable point. In this seminar, there will be many occasions where these questions are being discussed. இன்னைக்கு இருக்கிற crux of the matter இதுதான். அந்த மேட்டரை வந்து வெஸ்டர்ன் காஸ்மாலஜியில் அப்படி சொல்லியிருக்கிறது வந்து ஈஸ்டர்ன் காஸ்மாலஜிஸ்ட் வேர் வி ஹாவ் அ லார்ஜர் பேஸ் இன் ஃபிலாசபி. நம்ம லார்ஜர் பேஸ் இன் ஃபிலாசபி இருக்கிற ஒரு ஈஸ்டர்ன் காஸ்மாலஜிஸ்ட் டஸ் ஹி அக்ரி வித் த ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் ஆர் நாட் அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு மிகப்பெரிய ஒரு சேலஞ்சு தான் in the seminar. After this short introduction, what you are going to gain that when you go back, you will have some idea about the Creator, some idea about the functioning aspect, some idea about the future of the universe. So I am very happy that things are happening in the right direction. And இதை ஆன்சர் பண்ணணும்னா ஒரு scientist he must be a very open-minded. Open-minded in the sense, ஏதோ ஒரு ஈஸ்டர்ன் ஃபிலாசபர் ஒன்று சொல்லியிருக்கலாம், ஸோ அதில் என்ன இருக்குன்னு பார்க்கலாமே. ஒரு வெஸ்டர்ன் ஃபிலாசபர் ஒன்று சொல்லியிருக்கலாம், அவர் என்ன சொல்லியிருக்காருன்னு பார்க்கலாமே. ஒரு கிறிஸ்டியன் ரிலீஜனில் ஒன்று சொல்லியிருக்கலாம், அவர் என்ன சொல்லியிருக்கலாம் பார்க்கலாம்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஓப்பன் மைண்டாக அந்த கொஷின் நம்ம a scientist must approach, not with a closed mind. அவர் சொல்லிட்டார், இவர் சொல்லிட்டார், க்ளோஸ்டு மைண்ட் இல்லாமல் நம்மளுடைய லாஜிக் என்ன சொல்லுது. ஃபார் ஆல் தீஸ் திங்ஸ் நமக்குன்னு ஒரு லாஜிக் இருக்க முடியாது, சுய புத்தின்னு சொல்கிறோமே. அவர் சொன்னார், இவர் சொன்னாலும் நமக்குன்னு ஒரு புத்தி இருக்கணும், சுய புத்தி. அதையும் போட்டு இந்த கொஷினுக்கு எப்படி ஆன்சர் வரப்போகுதுன்னு பார்க்கலாம் இந்த செமினாரில் சொல்லி ஐ எம் வெரி ஹாப்பி தட் the speakers will follow their presentations. Thank you very much.